It's 4 years. It's 4 years. He's not gonna quit halfway through. Well, why are you bullying me?
Oh! It's coming! Oh my god! Oh my...
Whenever it comes to the topic of anime, I'm not exactly the strongest anime connoisseur. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen some animes in the past, like One Punch Man, Death Note, Code Geass, just to name a few. But the thing is anime has never really captivated me like some other TV shows have, where I can sit down and watch the entirety of Daredevil in one sitting, or The Punisher. I can't sit down and watch an anime in a couple episodes. It bores me. I don't really know why. But in this video, I will be taking a look and talking about why I dislike One Piece. This is probably going to upset many of you, but this is my YouTube channel, so get over it. So, like the title reads, and like I'm about to tell you, I am not the biggest fan of One Piece. But I do need to give credit where credit is due, because the writers and the creators of the show do a lot of things right. For one, I think that Luffy and the Straw Hats are an interesting band of characters. I like that they're all different, but they come together for one common cause. I like that each and every one of their origin stories and arcs can kind of be tied together with one another, and that each of them have a different stake in each conflict that they go into, and they all help each other to become better characters. I really like the world building of the show, and I really think that it does a lot of things right. With so many episodes and so many different arcs, it leaves a lot of spare time for the Straw Hats to go around and investigate and meet new people. And that's exactly what they do in some of the filler episodes. Some of my favorite episodes are the filler episodes. But the thing is me and anime don't really mix well. I don't know what it is about, maybe it's animation, maybe it's something else, but something about animation just doesn't really captivate me like another show would. So that's all the things that I really enjoy about it. Let's hop into what I dislike. So the first thing, and the most common thing that is disliked about the show, is that there's too many episodes. I don't know, something about the behemoth of 1,000 episodes that it would take to get to the end of the show is a huge turnoff for most viewers, and it was one thing that was always lingering in the back of my mind while I was watching this show. As I creeped closer and closer to episode 100, I started to more and more realize that, do I really like this show? And the answer to that was no, not really. And the show was not worth watching 1,000 episodes of it. But hey, if that's for you and you like watching 1,000 episodes of a show, go for it, man. There's absolutely nothing wrong with liking something. It's like an old timer always says, opinions are like shit. Everyone has some. But the thing is One Piece is so popular because many people have been watching the show since it first debuted back in 2002. But the thing is new viewers are going to be turned off to the idea of watching the show because of how many extensive episodes there are and how many different arcs there are. If you ask somebody who's watched the entirety of One Piece, or is up to date with One Piece I should say, where they should start, they'll tell you that you need to watch all the episodes and you can skip most of the filler episodes. But the show doesn't really pick up until after the first couple of arcs, or after they get out of the East Blue. But the thing is a show really worth watching if it doesn't fully captivate you in like the first season? Now, hear me out here. In my opinion, a TV show or a movie should captivate you in the first little bit. For a TV show, for me, it should be the first 1 to 4 episodes. If the first 1 to 4 episodes don't captivate me and don't instantly hook me on the idea of the show, then I'm not going to watch it. It's quite simple. One example that I'd like to use for this is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. People always say, oh, JoJo's is so good, and then I say, okay, and then I sit down and watch it, and I say, I really didn't like Season 1, because I watched the first couple episodes, and I didn't like it, and then people say after that, oh, Season 1 is not very good, you gotta get to at least Season 3 before it starts getting good. Is a show really worth watching if you have to wait 3 seasons to start enjoying it? No, it's not good. Another example of this is The Office. A lot of people consider The Office first season to not be as good as the rest of it, and I kind of agree, except for I like the first season of The Office, so people aren't going to watch it if the first season isn't very good. It's the same thing with a movie. If a movie doesn't get good until about the middle part, then it's not worth watching. It's like a sandwich. You're not going to sit there and eat a sandwich and someone tell you, oh, the sandwich doesn't taste good until you get to the final bite. You know what I mean? You're not going to sit there and eat a shitty sandwich until it gets to the middle of it so that way you can eat it. It just doesn't make any sense. And then another thing that I dislike is the action. Now, the action can be good in this, and the animation, like I said earlier, looks really good, but the fight scenes are really unengaging to watch. Most fight scenes with the final boss of an arc take at least 10 to 20 episodes just to get over with, and it's one of those things where I find myself watching the episode late at night at 4 a.m. to just finish the arc, because I'm like, okay, I just am gonna finish this arc tonight and then go to sleep. And then before you know it, you've watched 10 episodes and the fight still isn't over yet, and you're just pulling out your hair, very frustrated with yourself. It's kind of like taking a poop. You sit down on the toilet and you try to poop, but only to figure out that you're extremely constipated. But you sit there and you're like, maybe it'll squeeze out. All the while, your family members are knocking on the door asking you if you fell in. Isn't that awkward? But the thing is the fight scenes are super unengaging and uninteresting to watch. Sure, they carry a lot of weight and emotion behind them, but where's all the weight and emotion behind them if there's no payoff to the action, in my opinion? The animation looks great, it feels great, but the thing is it just doesn't really pay off for me. Sure, Luffy will one punch the freaking enemy at the end of the battle and stand triumphantly, but that took 20 episodes to happen. You know what I mean? Another thing that I dislike about the show is all the characters take forever to introduce. I understand that we need to give each character an arc, but we don't need to take an extensive 100 episode time to do each one of the characters. I feel like that's a bit excessive and takes a little bit too long. Of course, I'm over exaggerating. They don't do this for every single character. Most character has at least a 40 episode arc, if that. But the thing is it just takes too long. But at the end of the day, I can't force you guys to do anything. All I can do here is post on my YouTube channel my personal opinion. And my personal opinion on the show is that I'm just not the biggest fan of it. And I'm not the biggest fan of anime in general. Sure, there are some animes that I like and that I enjoyed to watch. Death Note in particular is one of my favorites, and I really enjoyed watching it, and I wish that I could watch it again. But the thing is most anime just doesn't resonate with me. I'll watch a couple episodes of it and then just get uninterested and bored. Maybe it's the fact that it's animated, or maybe it's just the idea of the show. Maybe I haven't found one that's good enough for me yet. I don't really know. Or one that suits me. I don't really know. And the thing is it's okay. It's okay to like things that are different, and it's okay to have different opinions. I know I'm not the only one out here who dislikes One Piece, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what anybody says, because everybody's got their own opinions. So, well, this has been the 4 a.m. Picture Show, and I hope you all have an amazing night. 4 a.m. out.